Welcome to this short video highlighting Chapter 6 of Bob Cochran's second book, Hyperdimensional You, Surfing the Shift Towards Mastery. If you find the material interesting, much greater detail may be found within the book, which is available on Amazon.com in either paperback or e-reader form. Let's get started. Chapter 6, Surfing the Shift Towards Hyperdimensional. Picture this. Humanity is currently experiencing the cosmic equivalent of a software upgrade, and most people don't even know they're due for a reboot. According to Bob Cochran's fascinating exploration in Hyperdimensional You, it's like we're all sitting in boats, frantically rowing with manual oars, while ignoring the engine that's been available all along. The question isn't whether this shift is happening, it's whether you're going to be a surfer, riding that wave, or a sufferer, getting tumbled by it. The Great Awakening. Forget everything you thought you knew about human limitations. Cochran suggests that what we call supernatural abilities, spontaneous healing, mind over matter effects, even the increasingly powerful placebo effect, aren't actually supernatural at all. They're simply our hyperdimensional birthright abilities finally getting a chance to stretch their legs as we shake off what he calls incarnation amnesia. The science behind this is surprisingly concrete. Quantum biologists have discovered that human DNA displays hyperdimensional attributes, and when you combine trillions of these strands, they create a biofield extending 6 to 12 feet beyond our physical bodies. This field responds to our intentions and can influence matter, quantum potentials, and synchronicities. In other words, humans come equipped with their own reality-bending technology. However, most people just haven't read the user manual. But here's where it gets interesting. Our solar system's ever-changing position within the galaxy is apparently bathing us in new, stronger energies that are supercharging these abilities. It's like getting a cosmic Wi-Fi upgrade that nobody told you about. The deeper we move into this new area of space, the stronger these energies become, making hyperdimensional effects more common for those willing to develop what Cochran calls sovereignty of mind. The Great Split, Surfers versus Sufferers. This consciousness upgrade is creating what amounts to a planetary fork in the road. On one side, you have the shift surfers, people who recognize that the old ways of thinking and being are becoming increasingly counterproductive. These folks understand that compassion isn't weakness, it's actually a key that unlocks hyperdimensional energy sources. They've figured out that emotional balance isn't just nice to have, it's essential equipment for navigating the quickly changing new normal. On the other side are the sufferers, those clinging to old energy patterns like win-lose thinking, fear-based decision-making, and the belief that might makes right. These individuals may find themselves increasingly confounded by changes they don't understand, like trying to use a flip phone in a smartphone world. The difference between surfers and sufferers often comes down to their relationship with information and intuition. Old energy sufferers consume fear-laced, drama-heavy content, thinking it's informative, while shift surfers recognize it as toxic, weaponized, and disempowering. Sufferers dismiss their intuition in favor of external authority, while surfers have learned that a thimbleful of intuitive truth beats a gallon of manufactured narrative. Your imaginal cell transformation. Remember the caterpillar that transforms into a butterfly through imaginal cells? Cochran suggests that humanity is undergoing a similar metamorphosis, but instead of growing wings, we're learning to access higher dimensions of consciousness and capability. Just as imaginal cells help a ground-based creature become a being of the air, our own imaginal transformation is helping us access previously untapped dimensions of ourselves. This isn't about becoming someone new, it's about integrating the normally separate levels of yourself. Think of it as getting your conscious mind, subconscious, superconscious, higher self, innate body, and auric biofield to align and start talking to each other, instead of operating as separate departments in a dysfunctional corporation. The process can be surprisingly practical. Cochran suggests starting with verbal affirmations that your innate body can respond to, or learning to distinguish between lowercase truth, what logic accepts, and capital T truth, what gives you goosebumps or chills. Following these subtle body responses can open doors to universal knowledge, pushing you into previously unnoticed hyperdimensional territory. The Great Unlearning and Relearning Project. Perhaps the most crucial aspect of riding this shift successfully involves a comprehensive mental house cleaning. The sufferers of the world see no reason to question their societal programming, while surfers understand that enlightenment requires continuous unlearning, an ongoing process of replacing our conditioning with truth. The unlearning list is extensive, letting go of the belief that loyalty is more important than truth and ethics, that profits matter more than people and the environment, that the end justifies the means, and that some must lose in order for others to win. These old energy operating systems are becoming increasingly obsolete in a reality that's shifting toward win-win outcomes and compassionate solutions. The relearning phase involves prioritizing truth, balance, and peace of mind over money, going after our limiting fears rather than the vulnerable, clinging to intuition instead of controlling narratives, and understanding that a responsive universe brings not what we want, but what vibrationally matches our deepest thoughts and beliefs. The training wheels are coming off. Here's where things get really interesting. Cochran suggests that technology, like bicycle training wheels, may eventually become less necessary as our consciousness becomes capable of directly altering our world. We're already seeing intermediate steps where technology responds to consciousness, such as experiments demonstrating that minds can affect both matter and machines. This isn't science fiction, it's the logical progression of abilities that have been demonstrated for millennia. Water into wine, loaves and fishes multiplying. These reportedly occurred through the laws of consciousness via pure, focused intent and sovereignty of mind. The shift can increasingly take us from accomplishing things with technology to accomplishing things with our minds. Managing your shift experience. The key to navigating this transformation comfortably lies in understanding what's actually happening. The shift represents the universe slowly reworking Earth from a civilization with win-lose, low integrity, and low compassion wired into most systems, to a society with win-win, integrity, and compassion as default settings. Your experience of this process depends largely on your vibrational alignment. The more you're invested in aspects of society based on win-win outcomes, integrity, compassion, and peaceful balance, the less traumatic the shift will be. Conversely, if you're heavily invested in the opposite paradigms, the shift may feel more like being pulled inside out through a knothole in slow motion. The choice, ultimately, is yours. You can continue rowing your boat manually while complaining about the current, or you can learn to operate the hyperdimensional engine that's been waiting patiently for you to discover it. You can choose to be confounded by changes you don't understand, or you can develop the sovereignty of mind that allows you to surf this global wave of transformation with grace and excitement. As Cochran notes, we have the key to controlling our shift experience. The question isn't whether the shift is happening, it's whether you're going to lead the trend or be left wondering what happened to the world you thought you knew. For more information on Bob Cochran's first book, Emerging Imaginal You, a time-traveling note to self from the corner of science and spirituality, or his second book, Hyperdimensional You, Surfing the Shift Toward Mastery, check out clever2wise.com, that's clever2wise.com, or on Facebook, #clever2wise. Feel free to also subscribe and like on Bob's YouTube channel, which can be located by way of the handle at clever2wise.